Hi, my name's Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today is going to be a very full video of information that will 100% help you and change your lives and uplift you. And if you pay attention to everything I'm about, is about changing your lives. People will get entertainment, buy entertainment, but they'll want to be someplace, and life will go by, and they're just not where they want to be. And then when you start worrying about it, it's too late. And then when you want to worry about it, or when you decide to worry about it, it's too late. Then you're at a point where you're just flat out pushing it away, and that's the worst thing you could ever happen. So, for example, do you wait till, some people do actually. Do you wait until the age of 60 or 70 or 80 to start worrying about how you're going to retire? No. And, some people are like, yeah, just do whatever. And then they get to like 70 years old, and you see it. There's people in supermarkets who are just like 70 something years old, and they're having a tough time standing up. And some of them actually have some kind of retirement, whatever, but some of them just are like, they're just getting started, or their family didn't help them. They thought things were just gonna fall together, and it's sad. Look at the retirement ages in America, by the way. Look at the history of retirement ages and what has happened. So when they get to the afterlife, it's like, oh, and you realize you're sent to Earth to accomplish stuff. And certain things just don't get accomplished, and it's like, oh great, there's a small child in front of my car, out of nowhere. Okay, it's a real child. I'm like, okay, it's just way ahead of its family. But I didn't, because let's just say I have certain spiritual pets, but like, I won't even say what kind of spiritual pets, but some of them look like The Haunting. Okay, let's just say that. But I thought it was one of them. I thought one of them was getting out of hand. I'll just say I have certain pet poltergeists. Okay, I'll teach about that in future videos. But on to my topic. That's why I'm like looking around sometimes. So that's that. But back to my topic. So the thing is, when you are someone who's on the right track and be like, you're just gonna casually skip over that, I'll talk about that in future videos. Let me talk about that a little bit right now. You can actually take things that used to attack you, and you can make them good. But it's kind of like, or you can take things that used to haunt houses, and you can make them go at negative entities. How cool. There's a large world out there. So yeah, I'm glad it was a small child versus the other thing, because I don't know. Okay, so on to the next topic. I teach about actual life changes. I teach about how you can actually achieve where you're supposed to be going in life. I teach about how you guys can make real progress, because too much, you're like, the rest of your life, tomorrow's not guaranteed. So this actually puts you on your life's path. If you'd like to meet the right one, if you'd like to become the highest version of yourself, this level of motivation will get you to be where you need to be. So, and I'm gonna get very practical in this video. Very, very practical in this video. Okay, let's talk about it straight off the bat. Let's talk about rituals. And I'd like you guys to, in spirituality, the one thing I see spiritualists not do, and some spiritualists, especially the people who have necklaces from me, they'll record progress, or they'll record what works, what doesn't work. But some people are just doing anything, or they've had some success, but they can't replicate it because they didn't know they were successful from one thing, just because they didn't record it. How do I know how to teach about crystals or herbs? It's because I record every ounce of information in the spiritual realm. So outside my body, I do keep a file. So you can write stuff outside of your body. You can literally write stuff down that can't be found in the physical world. So, and you can document stuff in the physical world too. But what am I telling you guys? I'm telling you guys, take note of what you're doing and find out what absolutely works. I'm going to share something right now. And this is a giant pattern. This will help you very majorly. So any ritual I teach you guys, you'll notice there's tremendous amounts of success. And one of my eyelashes is shining, actually. It's shining. One of them, I don't know who saw that. My eyelash was shining. Okay. And yes, this is more of a casual video, so that's the thing. I rubbed my eyes too much earlier because I was seeing something outside my third eye. I'm just like rubbing my eyes, and I rubbed them a little bit too much. I'm like, why is my angel so big? It's like, why is he making himself look that huge? I'm like, let me just rub my eyes to see if I see him any differently. And I'm like, okay, no, he's laughing. He's laughing. They don't usually show themselves as big, but I guess it's appropriate for the occasion. But I'm like, okay, is that whole aura you? And I'm like, let me just rub my eyes some more. So I was rubbing my eyes earlier, but in the spiritual realm, they're making jokes now, but in the spiritual realm, you have to record things. So usually how something will happen is you start a ritual I teach you. You see tremendous success, and then after a week or two, the success might dwindle. It's like, what is that? I'll tell you exactly what that is, and this is why I'm going to tell you what I suggest afterwards. So you do a ritual I taught you for example, money. For 2 weeks, you'll see incredible success, and you'll be like, what the? And then you'll stop doing it. Number one, it has a shock factor. So if your spiritual system and aura has never encountered that, you're going to see everything on back order come all at once. It's kind of like if you never receive your packages from Amazon, but now you receive 10 boxes at once. It's like, whoa. It's like, oh, finally, they're here. So the next thing is I have a keen eye. I make sure I'm watching my area too. The next thing is, okay, now you're gonna say what that. I won't even say what that was, but back to my point. And yes, the video sometimes, because I have several alarms on, which kind of have been messing with the video, so I might have to turn them off before videos now. So my phone has been busy with notifications because I'm doing something that I taught you guys. So in order to achieve extreme success in what you're doing, you have to know what works and what doesn't work. That's why people get to a specific age, they get to their 50s or 60s, and they're like, okay, this doesn't work out, this doesn't create success, or this creates success. People will be 7 years old until they hit a large amount of success because they're like, okay, this pattern in life worked out, this pattern didn't. It's because instead of writing it down, a lot of people, or they didn't care to a certain age, but instead of writing it down, they saw a certain pattern of success, and they're just like, they didn't know where it came from, but that's the exact thing. So if you're doing 5 different rituals, and they're all for prosperity, and let's just say you are only doing 3 now, but that's the thing, like, you really have to know what does what. So you have to keep track of what's doing what. So if you did this prosperity ritual this day, and then, like, if you just did 5, and you better keep doing the 5 because one of those rituals is probably doing it. So if you're doing 5 and you start doing 3 and then something disappears, it was one of those 2. So that's just unorganized. So you have to be spiritually organized. So if you do a ritual, write down when you did it, how you did it. For example, if you brush your teeth with cinnamon and you're wanting to enchant your voice, and you notice by the end of the day it kind of fades off, it means you have to brush your teeth twice, or you have to redo it, or maybe it works for that day and you do it 3 times a week, whatever. So just write down what works. Find what works. Notice what doesn't work and focus on what works, and then you'll see more of what works. So then you'll figure out, like, okay, every day around this time you use cinnamon. If you don't use cinnamon, then you won't see this. So you have to record it. Record your progress. Record what you're seeing. Record it. Just make note of what you're seeing. Make note of your success. Make note of what's bringing prosperity, what's not. So let's just say let's get to a point where, like, oh, I've done every ritual ever and nothing works. If that's the case, it's just your mind. It's your mind. Or let's just say, assuming you're karmically clean, because people who don't have good souls, they'll try everything in the world, or if they have some kind of residual karma, it'll get blocked. So in essence, you didn't try everything because you didn't try karmic forgiveness. Because once your karma's clear, and let's just say your karma's clear, you're a man or a woman of God, you're on the right track, you're doing every prosperity ritual, your frequency's high, there's no energy vampires around you, you're going down the list, and you're like, okay, what works, what doesn't work, you're like, okay. And if you're doing everything, it's just your mind. To begin with, it's just your mind. It's because that's a thing. You'll have to evaluate when it's your mind. That's why, for example, you'll wear a new crystal, and it does it automatically for you for about 3 weeks. Like, it does 100% of what it's supposed to do. And then For example, if it's citrine, you'll see money pour in from every direction 3 weeks the first time you put a necklace of citrine you get from Florida Stone Man on. And then after that, it'll be like, okay, the citrine is trying to teach you how to basically do it yourself so that you're not just handicapping yourself. So it'll act as a tool versus a handicap. So that's the thing. You have to make sure, that God will make sure your citrine, he'll tune the citrine to be like, okay, let's make sure this person doesn't get overly reliant on the citrine to the point where when they take it off, they don't know how to function for themselves. That's not what crystals are. They are healing. They are healing. Crystals are very healing. So it's not a heal if it overhelps. I just made a video about overhelping. So what happens, for example, let's just say, what if your citrine overhelps you? Well, then you get comfortable, you know how to do things yourself, etc. So, on to the topic of, and that's the thing, what happens when you're wearing citrine and you fix your mind? And what do I mean by fix your mind? A lot of you guys, for example, and I have to make more videos about this, most people who are having financial issues, it's in your mind. No, it's outside my mind. No, it's in your mind. It's some kind of belief that you had. Ask your angels. Most importantly, ask God. Ask God to show you, is it my mind or is it's your mind? So 31 days of hard detoxing. So whatever you have been thinking up to this point hasn't been best serving you. So if you'd like to flourish, and even then, what if before you try all the rituals, you still have to fix the mind? The mind comes first before you do anything else. If you're in a bad mind frame, your mind will reject any form of success. So if you're a pessimistic person, you're just like, nothing will work, and then you're just pushing stuff away from you, it's just your mind. So what if you're saying you're a person who does that? You're like, oh no, I'm working on my mind, but you're not feeling it. So you have to work on your mind, feel it, and be 100% connected in what you're doing. So you can work on your mind, but unless you're making progress by actually feeling it, because you have to feel the progress. So do your affirmations 3 times a day. Just say them once or 3 times in one setting, 3 times a day. That's it. For 31 days. And come up with strong affirmations. Not like some people like for an affirmation that they want money. That's already came true. You already want money. For you to manifest, you have to understand the power of words. For you to understand that when you say you want money, want states that you don't have it. You're attracting more not having money. Now you're actually pushing money away from you. God designed this universe into having laws that he makes you kind of work around them. It's not like I want this, oh now it's coming to you now. No, we're not in the next world yet. And even then, so things are not as easy on Earth compared to that's the thing. Yeah, you still have to work on your law of attraction. So if you want something, the way that God set up the rules, and this is God's rules. Like, God made the law of attraction. He made it very sophisticated in knowing how it makes and bends and folds people to being a very specific thing. So God made the law of attraction. So he can edit the laws, he can move universe laws, but he doesn't because it helps people grow. So if you want something, you're gonna push it away from you. I don't care if you say that, and yes, I'm a very strict teacher. I don't care if you say that, no, I don't want it, but you really want it. You have to be honest with yourself. Do you actually want it and you're saying you don't want it, that you have it? If you feel like you want it, but you're affirming that that you need it, you're going to have some work. You're affirming that you are, for example, if you're affirming I have money or a bunch of money and you're subconsciously putting off want, you're going to have to fight yourself on that one. So there's other things you can do as well. For example, for people who are one of the biggest reasons, and I learned this primarily from Robert Zink, which he has his own YouTube channel, but it changed the way, and yes, I'm giving credit to him for this because this is the easiest way to think of it, but how he teaches of it, and you better check out his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is awesome. Make sure you watch all his videos because he's very good. He's achieved way more than, and he's helped people achieve a whole bunch as well. So one thing that he said is he basically said that people think money's hard to attract. What do you do to yourself when you think money's... Let's talk about that. When you say money's easy to attract, your mind will think about it and be like, okay, how is it easy to attract? And it will attract circumstances that'll just do that. I'll give you an example about types. People are like, oh, this person, oh, this kind of person, for example, and I hear this from people all the time, like, oh, and I'm gonna use this as an example because, for example, this is just society. It's like, oh, if they're light skinned, they might not want someone who's dark skinned. That's just a belief. That's not true. If you actually lied to yourself and said the complete opposite, and it's not lying to yourself, it's actually telling yourself the truth. So if you convince yourself that you're lying to yourself and you can stick with that story for 31 days, you're gonna be like, oh wait, no, it's the complete opposite. You can break a type just based on your belief. That's it. Because if you think someone has a type for what you're attracting, now they have a type. But if you think you're their type, maybe you're the exception, even if they have the strongest type. It doesn't matter. It's just belief. So, and that's very true for anyone who's actually practiced what I taught a long time ago. I used to teach more about attracting the right person into your life, but now I teach you guys how to focus on your abundance, because that right person will just come anyway. Like, there's actually an abundance of people who claim to be the right person for you when you focus on your life's path. So, for example, when you're financially abundant, everyone's gonna pop back into your life and be like, hey, like, I'm the right one. And it's just like, huh? So everyone will there will be you'll see it all the time. So when you're not, that's why I say financial abundance before your love life. I'll teach more about that soon, because there are people who can't feed themselves and they're worried about their soulmate. Do you think your soulmate's gonna feed you? Like, I'm not being mean, but work on yourself, or God actually himself, he can block your soulmate from entering your life if you're not ready. Because they're your soulmate. If they're your twin flame, you're not gonna put them out by being dim. You gotta shine bright. So this is a very interesting video. This is about achieving success, finding patterns, and a whole bunch more. And I'm glad my other alarm didn't go off, because I do videos and, like, you guys just see, and then the next scene, and it's just like, yeah, because my alarm went off. You know how I teach you guys everything on the YouTube videos I teach? I actually practice it myself, and it really works. So I see what works, I know it works, I take what works, and I teach what works. So you know what else is really strong and that works? A custom necklace from Florida Stone Man. I'll have other necklaces on the website similar to the custom, but the custom allows me to help you guys individually. DM Florida Stone Man on Instagram after purchasing a custom necklace, and I will customize your necklace based on what my angels tell me to put in the necklace. You can also get a tourmaline necklace from FloridaStoneman.com. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Check out the website, it's looking really good. Until then, ciao. God bless all of you.